Dmitry Bivol is not primarily a counterpuncher. Dmitry Bivol is primarily a pressure boxer. Now, before you jump on my head, let me explain. Now, a counterboxer, primarily, they're wanting their opponents to commit. Now, when their opponents commit, they find the gap, they find the mistake, and then they make them pay. Now, a pressure boxer, they're the ones who initiate the action. And this is why Dmitry Bivol is, by definition, a pressure boxer. Because Dmitry Bivol always initiates the action. Now, he has two ways in which he usually does so. Let's explain the first, against a big punch like Beterbiev. Now, what Dmitry Bivol does is he stands just outside of distance, just outside of range. So let's say my opponent's here. Dmitry Bivol won't stand here where he can be hit, but he'll stand here where he can't hit you, you can't hit him. And now as he's here, he's feinting, he's dipping, he's feinting. Now this is creating pressure on his opponent because his opponent doesn't know if this is a fake slip or he doesn't know if this is a two. He doesn't know if that's a fake slip or if that's a jab to the body. And every now and again, Dmitry Bivol does throw shots. Now these shots are not shots that he's committed to, they're shots that he's flicking out so he can easily retreat, easily catch, easily defend from his opponent's attack. And this is why you all primarily think Dmitry Bivol is a counterpuncher, because he's creating chaos, but he's staying composed in that chaos. Now what he's doing is he's forcing his opponent to react. And when his opponent does react, because he's pre-planned his methodology of attack, when they attack, he can step back and counter them, which is what everyone sees. Everyone sees the meaningful punch that lands. And the meaningful punch is often the punch that ends the combination, that ends the interaction, which is the counterpuncher. So Dmitry Bivol initially, firstly, primarily, he is a pressure boxer. Now, when you're in there against big punches, now what do they want? Big punches, believe it or not, they want time, they want patience, they want to set up their offense. Now, what Dmitry Bivol's doing is he's disrupting their rhythm. So big punches, they can't set up the shots. He's making the tempo really fast, really erratic. But whilst it's really fast and erratic, he's composed, he's in a perfect balanced stance. And if you're in a perfect balanced stance, you have options. Options to attack, because you can transfer your weight. Options to defend, create space, catch shots. Because you're balanced, you can transfer your weight from left to right, from right to left, and so on. The second method in which Dmitry Bivol uses to create pressure is just attacking. Now when he's in there with an opponent that he doesn't deem their punch power hazardous, what he would do is he would just attack, but he's attacking without real intent. He's throwing shots, usually straight shots and threes and left hooks, just to make his opponent attack. Now, whilst he's composed, he's not rushing, he's just initiating. He's not rushing, he's not, he's just initiating, flicking shots, high, low, high, low. Now, when his opponent tries to counter him, he'll break the rhythm with the footwork, with the Soviet style. He'll break the rhythm via catching and countering, which again is why we believe he's a counterpuncher. But Dmitry Bivol actually initiated both exchanges, and he initiates most exchanges every single time he boxes. So after Dmitry Bivol creates pressure, this is when the Soviet style, this is when the pendulum step becomes so important, because you can use them to control the distance, to make his opponent overreach. Again, when you're creating so much chaos, so much friction between you and your opponent, they're going to likely be very eager to attack you. And that's when they might throw a shot, but he steps back, overreaching, counters. He stays composed in the chaos, whilst you are punching because he's forcing you to punch. And then he can disrupt your rhythm. So Dmitry Bivol is actually a pressure fighter that controls the distance in order to counter his opponents. Now, how can you young boxers implement this into your game to take your game from here to here? The first thing you need to understand is that this isn't a skill, this is a strategy, this is a method of boxing. It's ring IQ. So you have to learn and trust that the method of what you're doing. So when we're shadowboxing first, because it always starts with shadowboxing, you need to be able to visualize your opponent is just in range, just outside of range. Sorry, and you're touching them high and low. You're trying to cause an exchange. You're trying to cause an exchange, but whilst you're trying to cause an exchange, you're aware that when the exchange is initiated, you're gonna step back, counter. You're gonna duck. You're gonna slip. You're gonna step aside. You're gonna do some sort of defensive move in order for you to counter. Now, this is a very cardiovascular demanding, it's very endurance demanding, energy consuming style. So you're gonna have to be fit, you're gonna have to be aware that you're gonna have to be fit to implement this style, this strategy. So now I'm here, I'm making my opponent react. When they react, I might step back, counter. Now why Dmitry Bivol is able to do this is because Dmitry Bivol is always balanced. Now, when you're balanced, you're in a perfect pyramid style. Now, that perfect pyramid style, left foot on the left, right foot on the right, head at the center, your head never leaning over your rear foot or front foot, making you balanced. From that position, you're able to step in any direction. You can duck, you can catch. You can also throw any single punch in any single situation, which is one of the most important things you need to be able to do. So when you're shadowboxing, you need to be able to make sure your stance never collapses. A sharp step to the right shouldn't make you go off balance, nor to the left, nor backwards. Whoops, tripped on the ring. Nor when you duck, and nor when you attack back. Now, once you can do this shadowboxing, it's going to be a lot easier for you to implement this on a punch bag, because now you're hitting a physical object. So now, when you're touching, look, when you're touching, just like Dmitry Bivol, these aren't shots thrown with intent. You're more so gathering information. I'm just gathering information. I'm just touching. I'm just wanting my opponent to attack back. I might keep touching. My opponent might jab back. Now I know that they're going to jab when I jab. So I might throw the jab when they jab, overhand right. I might right hand to the body. I might jab. I might step back and I might double my jab. You're gathering information with these touches. So I'm touching here. I'm moving. Remember, when I'm touching, I'm not inside the range touching. That's pointless because I can be hit. And if my punch back at arms, my punch back would surely hit me back. So I'm stepping outside the range. At times, your lead foot can be the only foot that moves. Now, your rear foot is planted, but I'm never overstretching. As my foot steps, my head is still in the center. Look, one, that's a jab. That's a jab. Jab, cross, step back. So you always need to be balanced. And at times, both feet are going to move together in any direction, both feet together. But moving backwards and forwards, you can right now from here, I can't touch the punch bag. I can't touch the punch bag. Subtle step in with my left foot, my lead foot, and now I can. I'm in, I'm out. Once you've mastered shadowboxing, you've mastered bag work, you've mastered the methodology, you've mastered the tactic of using distance, using position, using feints to create pressure and then countering. Now we go to sparring. We do the exact same thing as sparring. You touch, you feint, your opponent attacks, they react, you counter them. And that is how you disguise being a pressure boxer as a counter boxer, just like Dmitry Bivol. If you enjoyed the video and you learned something, then please be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. And if you're local in the London Forest Gate area, then drop in for a class where I can teach you these real boxing skills. I will see you soon.